Welcome to another episode of Neon Radio Podcast. I'm Reece.
I'm Dan.
Back from the multiverse on Declan.
It
feels like we've done this before.
This is the second time doing this.
I can't remember.
It's just the opening.
I'm half asleep.
I know.
So tired.
Dan did a triple wedding this weekend, so out of it.
Zombie.
Getting the same things I said 2 seconds ago out of the way. Continuing a little bit of information on the episode. We're doing WandaVision episode 7 this week. Continuing suit. The show is directed by Matt Shackman. The episode is written by Cameron Squires and created for television by Jacques Schaefer. Writers Peter Cameron and Jacques Schaefer have written and been prominent in production of all 9 episodes. And also a spoiler warning. Now, this is a warning that we talk heavily about the movie's plot and characters. So if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. Come back and we'll break it down for you.
Hey, what's with the notepad?
The notepad?
Yeah.
You always ask this. I should have told you
I've
beforehand.
never seen it before.
So this is just to write down like the time codes because I hate doing it on this.
Oh, yeah, good idea. Yeah,
It takes too much time.
Bit finicky on there, eh?
Yeah.
Bit of BTS for free.
Yeah.
There you go. There we go.
When we do things like factoids and that, I can be like, okay, that's where I have to edit.
Or when I say something stupid, which is all the time.
Note that down.
Cut
that out.
This out. All right. I'm going to give Dan a chill this morning. And Declan, initial thoughts on WandaVision episode 7.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed this episode because I've actually just been rewatching The Office.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So jumping back into the sitcom
Dan loves The
mockumentary
Office.
style.
Office, so good.
It was like a seamless transition for me, really. And I think we started getting some definitive answers of what's going on in Westview now.
Yeah,
That's good.
Which, the show is definitely moving forward at a pace now. And I think the last 2 episodes, like you predicted last week, Reece, are going to be very Game of Thrones style.
They're going to go all out.
Yeah, and something that I've been neglecting. I think I mentioned it once in one of the earlier episodes. I've been neglecting it ever since because we've been so caught up in the mystery of everything that's happening. But I just want to give a shout out, Elizabeth Olsen.
She's
if you're
fantastic.
listening, you're killing it.
Yeah.
You're crushing it.
Yeah.
She's good.
Oh, my God.
And so is Paul Bettany as well.
Both of them.
They're all.
But, like,
I think they're all good.
I'm just like, she's a superstar.
Yeah.
Even, what's her name, man? What's her name? Catherine...
Darcy.
Monica.
Catherine Hahn.
Oh, yeah. She's awesome as well.
Agnes.
Agnes,
So,
yeah, she's
across the
great.
board,
Yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
The only
So-
one I don't like is that the chick scientist.
You don't like
It's just too.
Kat Dennings.
You don't like Darcy.
Yeah, I don't like that character. It's just too
over the top.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just don't know. It just doesn't connect to me as a scientist.
Yeah.
I get what they're going for, though.
You are a good scientist too, so I can see.
Oh, mate. I discover black holes for a living.
Yeah.
No,
Yes, you are.
What?
I'm joking. I have to make up something there. Yeah, no, I don't.
Cutting that out? No, I'm kidding.
I just don't. Even the what's the head of the Shield guy?
Haywood.
Yeah, they just feel very TV-ish from me. I don't know.
He's like
see
really
it.
a moustache-twirling villain. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
You need someone to root against.
Yeah.
No, I agree. That I can see Haywood does feel that way.
Just very cardboard.
Even, I don't know. I like Teyonah Parris as Monica. Is it Monica?
She's great.
She's good.
I like she's got
but at the
gusto.
moment, she's feeling a little bit TV-ish. But I think that's just because they've thrown her into the superhero.
Yeah. How
run
cool is the
now.
blue eyes?
Yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
cool.
sick, eh? And what she can see and stuff, which is good.
You done?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So what Declan said, it's been good to see some answers, and also with her brother at the end as well coming in to give her a hand.
Yeah.
What it looks like
Oh, the deleted scene, the post-credit
at the end.
scene.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see. And again, like, I got a bit frustrated with Vision and that chick in the car, and it took a while for him to say, "Well, I'm getting out of here." He could have just done it in 2 seconds if he was that.
But he wanted to learn about what had happened.
we needed it. Yeah.
Also, I think they still have some form of something still connects to them because of the show.
Yeah.
And they still have this thing where they have to like do things for the show, and then they have to snap out of it themselves to be like, oh, this is not a show. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they seem to be connected
It's
all the time. Or
I just feel
pulled
like
in.
if there's a roadblock, just go around it.
Yeah.
I know, but that was the comedy of it though. Like it was like there is something programming him to think a certain way, really. But he does. Reece is right. He breaks out of it in this episode. Like,
Yeah.
because he has that moment. He's sitting there. He goes, "What am I
What are we
doing?"
doing here? Yeah.
Like
I actually like how
breaking
he
the fourth wall was like a reference to Vision. Going, actually, no, I don't have to play my part in this anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I like how he was just sitting down getting interviewed, and he just gets up and the mic hits him in the head. He's like, "Fuck, what am I doing?" Yeah.
Which it is actually the name of, if I'm not mistaken.
It is. That's the name of the episode. Yeah.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah. And and then Agatha.
It was Agatha the whole time.
Yeah,
Agatha
that's right.
Harkness.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool, and then I did some research on that.
Did you?
She does help her out in comics and stuff.
Yeah, she's not
she
a
has
villain in the comics.
She's
No.
kind of a neutral?
grey area.
Yeah.
The
So
neutral character.
it'd be interesting to see if Mephisto is going to be in this.
Yeah, well, I got a bit of
Well, there's a
bit of information.
yeah. Do you want to do your thoughts first?
Yeah. So I thoroughly enjoyed the episode as well because they're now picking it up a bit more. We're getting those answers, and it's I guess you're right, Dan. There is a bit of a pacing thing with Vision's plot area for this, but it's really just about him coming back.
Yeah.
And that's all it really is. So I mean, they got a pad in some way, something. But I was looking at it, and this is 9 episodes. And Falcon and the Winter Soldier is 6 episodes.
Really?
Yeah. So I'd
All the
like
money on
to,
the stunt work.
Falcon,
Yeah, I'd like to
Falcon
see-
and the Winter Soldier seems like it's going to be more just balls to the wall action.
fucking action. Yeah.
I'm so keen on that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, well, I mean, yeah, like this is like now our little drama piece, and then we're gonna get into that action, which is nice. I'm wondering how much money they spent on that one, but because this
like
one's 250 million. What was Winter Soldier? So, but yeah, I really enjoyed this episode, and I had a bit of a thing where I was like, it's 250 million, but that downstairs sanctum looks a little bit like something out of Supernatural.
Yeah.
I
Well,
thought
it was
like,
that was really. I have to say, I haven't read the comics and stuff, but I played a lot of the Marvel video games that go into like these crazy realms and delve like deep into Marvel lore. That does look like what
something from it.
the set dressing should look like for sort of Mephisto style.
Yeah,
Yeah, there were heaps of symbols and stuff. I don't know if that.
yeah, like
Relates
It's
to it.
very like his realm looks like that, so it's like they're staying pretty true to.
Yeah.
where that's
yeah,
going.
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
cool.
I think it feels like so far Agatha, and this is just me. Tell me if I'm wrong. I think we should get into it.
Yeah.
But so far, I think that Agatha does feel like a secondary villain
Yeah.
compared to what is to come. We got 2 more episodes. We know that this connects to Doctor Strange. I mean, everything points to Mephisto at this point.
Yeah.
And as Tyrone has been telling us week to week, the animals, that cicada on the curtain,
Yeah.
Yeah.
something there.
Yeah, definitely. There's something with the animals. Well, we know that.
And even the way that when she was having her like sort of breakdown and all the things were chopping and changing, like the objects in the place.
Yeah.
The stalk, if you noticed, it didn't do that little like TV jittery thing. It turned into a
Puffed
puff
in.
of red
Yeah.
smoke.
Yeah.
So there's something. There's
There's something with
nothing
it.
accidental in this show, as we know now. Like Agatha didn't have a name card next to her thing.
Yeah.
No license, and then all of a sudden there's
Yeah.
popping in as the witch. So we know that now.
But what's weird is
Unless
how she went-
maybe it's meta and Wanda's making Agatha the villain in the meta version of her show or something.
Yeah.
That'd
be
season
weird.
up.
Yeah. But it's weird how she warned Vision or something. You know, it was the episode before. So like she was in control, unless she was faking that. But why would she do that?
I think she was trying to push Vision out of the bubble.
Yeah, that could. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think she wanted him out because he was starting to clue onto things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder what her goal is.
Agatha's.
Yeah, Agatha's goal.
Well, that's why it fits better with Mephisto, I think. Because, I mean, at the moment, well, let's get into a little bit about Agatha.
go for it.
Because I did a little bit of research, some writing up for it. So she was a part of the Salem witch trials. She was all good with the happenings to cull some witches down and gain the power. So originally she wanted to kill a whole bunch of witches or get rid of some of the lesser ones to then gain more power in the area. She settled in the town of New Salem, which would later be known as Colorado. She became Grand Dame of the community since she was so powerful and was involved in turning in witches and killing to the witch-killing authorities to strengthen the community. So that was after even the trials. She died at the hands of the Salem Seven, who tried to use her powers but failed after losing control of it. And Wanda channeled the energy from that into setting into motion her pregnancy.
That's right, yeah.
Later, Agatha resurfaced, avoiding explanations for her return. She claimed that Scarlet Witch's children were actually fragments of the soul of Mephisto and wiped Wanda's memory of her children. And rather than fight to free the two from Mephisto when he reabsorbed the two, Harkness ultimately died a second death, this time for good, after Wanda confronted Agatha about her children. And later, Nick Fury and S.H.I.E.L.D. found Agatha's corpse in her home as Scarlet Witch had murdered her teacher in cold blood. And that was after she told her, she was like, your kids aren't real. They're a part of Mephisto's soul.
So
Super fucking scary comic moment. He, like, the kids are on his hands.
Yeah.
So is that where this show's going? Like they're gonna they're gonna be the rebirth of Mephisto.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's a pretty cool way to
cool.
explain. Well, that's cool. That's a good
Yeah.
way to explain where he's been, and then you got like obviously the Infinity Stones and the Snap. There's a big power void, and the world's sort of confused, and it's probably the perfect time for someone like him to make his move.
Pretty much. It feels like they're using the hex like it's its own birth bubble.
Yeah.
So it's like it's channeling that power into the energy of these kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then from there to Mephisto,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is really, really cool. And I don't understand Agatha's reasoning for that.
But what if there's no Mephisto and he's just the kids? And that's
Then-
the connection with, say, like, Wanda's like she's in between, a goodie, and she's got to protect the kids. And then
Maybe.
that could be a good conflict as well.
Well, there's also, they keep talking about Senor Scratchy, and although he seems like a mediocre character, that's actually the son of, well, supposedly the son of Agatha.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe there's something to do with that as well.
Yeah, right.
I mean, maybe like she has to bring her son back. I don't know. Like there's so many ways that they could go with it.
Yeah.
There's one other thing though in this episode they show a book, and it's rumored to be the Darkhold. Now, do you guys know anything about the Darkhold?
No.
So the Darkhold,
So
give
it's
you a
like
little bit of information.
Is it a wrestling move?
Maybe.
It's like one of those
Straight
Mexican-
out of the
Only way to beat Mephisto.
Yeah, get him in a headlock. Yeah.
The fucking Undertaker comes out of the screen and just
Do the full Nelson and the Darkhold.
Jesus.
Oh,
Beautiful. The Darkhold. So eons ago, the elder gods known as Chthon. I can't really pronounce it. Chthon. Chthon.
Yeah.
Everyone can
Or it could be Chthon.
Chthon?
Maybe.
Chthon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, wrote all his evil works and spells into the indestructible parchment made out of flesh. Originally written on flesh being standard.
Classic way to do
Being
it.
transcribed to stone, and later a collection of parchments after referred to as the Chthon scrolls. The pages were
Chthon.
Chthon.
Might be Chthon, like
Yeah,
Cthulhu
probably, yeah.
kind of
Cthulhu,
thing.
yeah.
Sounds kind of like it.
Sounds like that.
Yeah.
The pages were later bound together into a tomb of the codex type named the Darkhold, and also called the Shatra Book of the Damned or the Book of Sins. It has served as the source for other such books of spells as the Necronomicon. Chthon left these scrolls on Earth so that they might always serve as a conduit to the Earth realm for Chthon's influence and power. Now, this book, this is the first thing on this book. This book has a history for like 2,000 years.
Yeah.
It is fucking cool. Like, you go through it and it goes into stories with Conan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it goes into stories with like heaps of the Fantastic Four.
Can you buy the book?
I don't think so. It's
That'd be cool to have. Just have a read. Yeah.
Just have a squiz.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
just read through the Necronomicon. You
Yeah,
know?
that's cool.
Standard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it really goes through like a bunch of history before ending up into the hands of what was also a part of the Shield show. Because it was actually shown on the Shield show.
I never watched it.
Even though they're like...
too many seasons to get through now.
Yeah.
No, I
Did
wouldn't do
you
it.
actually watch any show?
Nah, I just read it.
Okay.
I watched the first season and then I was like, this is too TV for me.
What's the production value like on that?
I like CW.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, hard pass.
Yeah.
But they've said now it's not canon,
Yeah.
but they still keep adding little things anyway.
Oh, it's not canon anymore.
No.
Yeah, right.
So, but they still keep adding little things anyway, like the hula girl
Who's that?
on the
the...
truck.
Yeah.
That there is
Okay.
actually from the show as well.
Well, and so was in Endgame, the actor that played Jarvis in the movie was Jarvis in the Agents of the Shield TV show. Oh no, Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't know if that one's canon or not anymore, but they do keep doing throwbacks to the shows.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
the
Like
Hydra
Peggy,
soak.
is Peggy the girl from that?
Captain America. That's Captain America's girl.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's pretty much just a little bit of info on the things in there, but they're saying that maybe the Darkhold is going to be used to bring Mephisto about as well.
Right.
So that's pretty much all of the...
That's it.
info.
No one really thought that they were going to make Mephisto the next big bad. We didn't think they were going to go. Everyone was predicting they're still predicting Kang and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Doctor Doom, but
We got
maybe it's sort of like the right move to go for a more sort of metaphysical thing than another alien
Yeah.
that's super strong.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon it's good.
Yeah. They need to change it up, and going into the mystic stuff is way more intriguing at the moment.
It makes sense why they brought Doctor Strange in. Like, why would you
Yeah.
bring Doctor Strange in if you didn't want to go into the mystic side of things?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. I think about this. When we first started and we heard Mephisto, we're like, oh, that sounds all right. And then you hear about him. He's the devil. He's in this other dimension. You're like, I don't know. That kind of feels a bit weird for Marvel. And now that we've gotten 7, 8 episodes in the span of a month and a half, Marvel's changed my mind. I'm like, I want to see Mephisto on the screen right now.
Good. Yeah.
They can also bring
So-
Ghost Rider in properly and things like that now
Yeah,
too.
it'd be good if they actually brought a cooler Ghost Rider.
That movie was bad, man.
Which one? First or
The
second?
I think I only saw the
both
first
shocking,
one.
weren't
Yeah.
Yeah, that went great. The second one was made by the Crank guys.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicolas Cage is good at for stuff like Mandy and that.
Yeah.
He's good for him and Rodriguez should team up. Do those
Like a real
what they call them?
Grindhouse
grindhouse stuff? Yeah, I like him in that.
probably fit, yeah.
Yeah, man.
The concept of Ghost Rider, they could even do it now. So I remember playing, I think it was Ultimate Alliance 2. Oh, or maybe it was the first one. I can't remember. I think it was the first one, actually. You go to Mephisto's realm in one of the acts, and Ghost Rider's there, already,
Chilling in the
battling shit inside the realm.
That's
Because
awesome.
that's
That'd be
what
cool,
he goes between that realm and Earth. That's
Yeah.
the spirit of the Ghost Rider is from that realm. So they're opening themselves up to a lot of possibilities. That also would explain how they bring Blade in too, and the whole vampire thing.
Yeah,
really?
That's they explain
It's
that.
all interlinked in that way. So, and Nightcrawler, because that's the realm that he teleports
yeah.
to when he disappears.
Comes in,
So it's pretty smart actually. The more you think about it, the more it makes sense to bring that realm into the play.
because they're
100%,
opening more
yeah.
players in there. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
And they don't have to do origin stories in the same because
Not
I'm
at
sure
all.
they'll do. We will get some origin stories in this phase, but I'm sure they're also at a point where they want to do this sort of thing they did with Spider-Man and just chuck you into the middle of them existing.
That's
In
exact-
Black Panther, it works.
That was just what I was about to say.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, they can pull a Spider-Man with Ghost Rider and just have him pop in.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, at this point, we're all up for anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Going into the opening of the show, though, title's still rip. Sheets have the hexagons on them.
Yeah.
So many hexagons in this
Yeah,
episode.
they're loving the hexagons.
They're fucking plastered everywhere. It's beautiful. And then we get that intro, The Office, Modern Family, Happy
Yeah.
Endings.
Yeah.
So many cool little TV shows.
Wasn't it interesting how for all the titles except for the end, it was just Wanda's name, and then Vision popped in right at the end. Yeah.
Popped in. Smart. Because they never really see each other in the episode.
Nah.
So actually, they don't.
I don't know.
Not once. Yeah. which is cool. I don't know if you guys caught this, but did you have the subtitles on?
I did.
No.
So when she's in the kitchen, we have a radio announcement happening.
Yeah, I heard the radio. Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
So you heard what they were saying?
I can't remember what they said though.
They were talking about the radio was called WNDA, Wanda
Yeah.
Radio, and then they were talking about I hope your little ghosts got home safe last night after the Halloween thing.
Yeah.
And it was just like a little callback to the last episode.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and I couldn't hear it. So it was almost like I was finding something
Yeah.
fresh. I was like, oh.
I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
it, yeah.
So I was reading it as it was going along. And also things like the milk carton had
Yes.
like missing kid
Yeah,
on
I was
it.
wondering if
Yeah.
that was, but you couldn't really
Yeah,
make
who
out
was the
who
kid?
it was at all.
I don't
You
know.
could, it was too blurred, I think, to be able to make
There's
it out.
kind of a thing where they're like, maybe some of the kids in the town aren't real. Like they're just illusions as well. Because they went from being no kids to like fuckloads of kids
Yeah.
in the Halloween episode.
Yeah.
So it was just one of the things that came up.
I really like too when Vision found out what has happened, like with Wanda. And,
Yeah.
like the events of Infinity War and Endgame. He was fully just like, oh man, I've got to help her. Like this is,
Yeah.
that's awful. Like,
Yeah.
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 That's
How
only
he-
one of the tragic things she's been through.
Yeah, exactly. Well, how he explains as well that it feels like someone else's story. Like someone else is telling him about what had occurred
yeah.
instead of him actually living it.
Yeah.
So it was a nice little thing because the disconnect you'd feel the disconnect.
Yeah.
You'd be like, I didn't live it myself, so I don't feel like I don't have judgment or grudge.
But he,
Like, you know?
like he doesn't remember things, but he still feels that connection to Wanda.
To Wanda, yes,
Which is like-
specifically.
that's like a kind of cool little thing.
Yeah,
That's why I'm thinking, mate, what if the two kids are the villains, right?
Could
and yeah, I just think the conflict between Wanda and Vision now would be really good.
well, it could also be that Agatha's going to like train them into being villains. Could be the case. Like she did. One of her biggest things was having students. Like she did end up having Scarlet Witch as a student. Ended up having Firestar as a student, which I think had Frank, which was like one of the Fantastic Four's kids.
Yeah.
She had as a student for a while. So
Franklin Richards, is that right?
Yeah. Did you notice? Is it? Oh, I forget which one it is. Which is it Billy, the one that can read minds, or Tommy? Is it Tommy or Billy?
Okay, one of them.
One of them.
Because one of them said,
Yeah, he can read minds, but it's weird because Wanda doesn't
Could've-
have that power.
yeah, but he said to Agatha, he goes,
You're quiet.
"Well,
Yeah.
quiet."
yeah.
So I'm going, what's going on there?
I think that's because she's not actually. I think what he can hear is my theory was that he can hear everyone that his mum is controlling or something like that.
Right.
But she's obviously not controlling Agatha.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, it's very loud because he's saying it sounds so loud. The kid was saying, I can hear everyone all the time. Yeah, and then she goes, but you, nothing.
Hey, speaking of loudness,
Yeah.
you'll like it, Declan, because you used to be a drummer. Sound of Metal. Watch it.
Did you finally watch it?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah.
Is that
sorry.
it?
Yeah, because this sound base, it's cool.
The sound is really
that-
good in it.
Yeah, it's the ending's just the whole piece is good, but the ending's just like, man, that's good.
Has a guy from Rogue One in it. The
Yeah,
pilot.
he's good, and he did a heaps good show on HBO. He was he got in prison for something. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
Riz Ahmed.
That's it. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
his
yeah,
name,
it's
yeah.
good. I like him. Yeah.
Have to check
it
it
out.
out.
So yep.
So moving on with it. The Major Goodner. I was looking at Major Goodner because that's
yep.
her friend in it. There's nothing on her. I just thought I would say, like, they made a big fuss about this character.
that's kind of
Yeah,
It's
her
like-
and mum and all
yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like, we're friends. And I'm like, what did you do together?
Yeah.
And there's been some talks that it might be the Skrull girl that she
Oh,
was
yeah.
playing with
Yeah.
as a kid
Yeah.
in Captain Marvel. It's a hard one to remember. Captain Marvel is
remember
not the
the
most memorable film.
I remember
little
the
girl.
Scrolls. That was my favorite part of them.
Yeah.
So there was a little girl with them.
There was a little girl, yeah, and that was a friend of
Right.
Monica.
Okay.
As a little kid.
Yeah.
So they're saying maybe it could be her. And there's also some weird facial movements in the scene with that character.
Yeah.
Like a weird like facial motions where people are like, oh, maybe, you know? So you got to zoom the hell in though.
Wouldn't
So
put it past them.
Yeah,
to
because
do it.
that was Ben Mendelsohn's daughter, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was, yeah, it would have been because
Yeah.
he was a huge part of that
Yeah.
scene even, I remember. There's some cool little tidbits, like we get our the circus and some of the rides in it. One of them's called Fool the Guesser. I saw it in the background. And the name of the circus also had something to do with it, which was really cool. I can't remember it, and I didn't write it down. Then we have that cool little moment where she goes, "Maybe it's what you deserve." What's it called? Wanda's talking to the camera,
Yes.
and she goes, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
You talking back?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's literally her voice pitched down.
All right.
So it's the Catherine Hahn, Agnes's
Yeah.
voice
Yeah.
pitched down, which is cool. The Nexus.
Nexus, yeah. So what is a Nexus?
You put me on the spot.
I knew one of you guys would know it. Do you know what it is?
It's like a,
it's, well, the Nexus is a Nexus is like a
I don't know,
meeting point of many things. It's like the middle of
like a multiverse. It has
Yeah.
to do with the multiverse.
Right.
yeah.
What's a nexus? Here you go. Is a central link or connection. If you happen to be at the nexus of something, you're right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Standing
So
in
what's
the
what's
I
that
think Reece is
relation
in
to
the
Marvel?
Nexus of us right now.
Yeah. Right.
But Wanda is a nexus. She can be. Is that? I think that's what that means.
So maybe she's the
She is
connection.
a
to-
point of meeting
Yeah.
because of
So she's
that,
like
the power that she has.
So I'm guessing like a portal hole or something like that. Like a key.
Well, maybe she can create those types of things.
Maybe she's the key to bringing someone back.
Yeah. But you know that is it the Eddie Murphy gif?
Yeah, the little tap the
Yeah.
head. the
How
little
good is it? It's the
head
best gif,
tap.
man.
We just went
GIF,
quiet,
GIF.
and everyone listening is like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, there's a GIF or GIF. Everyone says, I don't know. I think it's a GIF. It's
think
the
it's-
correct term.
no, I
correct
think it's
term.
GIF.
I think it's GIF.
I
With a
think
G.
I think it's a GIF.
Okay.
I've never heard anywhere
It's in Wikipedia.
outside of conversations with people.
Yeah, everyone
saying
says GIF, but I think the correct term is GIF. But anyway,
GIF has taken off.
yeah, he's just
The
like
more you
tapping
know.
his head.
Yeah, a little tap on the head.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's you never know, man. I feel like I think my interpretation is that she is a nexus. She's like she is something at the center of it because she has those powers to bring things to her and from her, and
Well,
she has
now-
too much power. For
Isn't the suggestion now though that however Quicksilver's back, that was Agatha's doing?
Yes, yeah.
So she pulled him. Do you reckon she's pulled him from the multiverse, or what's the go?
I don't know, because they do have that moment at the
Yeah.
end where he comes up behind Monica, and you have that thing where you're like, is this a bad moment for her, or is this a good
I
moment?
think it was a bad moment.
It seemed like a bad moment.
But
at
also,
all.
like, because it shows that shot, and she's like doing the little swirly thing with her hands, and he's got that color around the back of him or whatever.
Yeah. Also, her eyes change, Monica's.
yeah, blue.
Yeah.
So
They
she
go,
can see.
but they go blue. But at the end on that last shot, they're purple.
Oh, getting controlled by Agatha
Maybe.
because that's what happened to Wanda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wanda went purple too, didn't
Yeah.
she? Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe instead of there being Mephisto, Agatha controls Monica.
Yeah. I wonder if Agatha,
Maybe
the explanation
Mephisto.
for her powers is going to be from the Infinity Stones, or that she's got some sort of abilities like Doctor Strange kind of thing. I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I just remembered.
Yeah.
You know how we thought that they were pulling Vision apart?
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one they said they're putting him together to create a super weapon.
They had pulled him apart because he was together.
Yeah, but
They're trying to figure out how to get him operating
Yeah,
again.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
It
think
was-
they wanted to operate him and control him.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
What I was guessing as well.
and
so
there's
they-
a drop there as well about he said get the weapon. Is that what he said?
Mm.
And then we didn't hear
Get
back
the
from
strike ready or something,
Yeah,
he says.
so see what happens.
Something's gonna.
Was there also the implication that he was actually maybe Haywood knows more than he's letting on about what's going on in the Hex, because
I reckon,
she
yeah.
says they say this was the only way that he's come back. So is it the implication that maybe they let Wanda take him to see what she could do with him or something like that? For me, there's a little bit of an undertone of that there.
I wouldn't be surprised if there was like the reason why they found him so quickly was like he was tracked or something, and they had just left the tracker.
Like maybe they fed information to him about where to get him.
Well, they did have that moment where
There was a tracking thing in there.
what another thing you guys didn't see is on the phone of Monica when she's driving with Wu in the car, and he's explaining that this is what's occurred. Vision, they were trying to take Vision's body, all the rest. At the bottom of it, it says Hayward was sending messages to Vision to try and get him out of the hex,
Right.
and that's why there's that episode where a fax comes through at his work.
Yeah.
And he sees something and he goes, and that's when he touches that guy's head, and he's like, the guy.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was actually Hayward sending through a fax into the hex
Yeah.
Right.
to try and tell him that things are weird in there and get him to come out to take his body.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think maybe sending him in was a part of it, but sending him that fax was definitely what started Vision into thinking that something's wrong, past just like one or two things happening here and there.
Yeah. There you
go. So we get the rabbit, the stork, the cicada.
Yeah.
They're all back again.
Yeah.
That can't be coincidence. Quiet on the inside. The rover part. We didn't talk about the rover part. That was cool.
Yeah. I knew you were going to mention this. I didn't bring it up. But how good was that, man?
Yeah.
That was sick. And it like goes in and then it starts pulling it up.
Tense. That's the most tense moment I think in the whole show so far.
So far, for sure. It shoots it out and half of it's different.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's sick.
He's good.
And then when she goes through, it's all dialogue from Captain Marvel movie.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And all the different versions of her.
Yeah. So it looks like it was multi-dimensional.
Yeah. And they all, like the same as Captain Marvel, they all form into one in the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really cool.
So I wonder what her, like how powerful she is. And
her power is, so I read a bit about her powers that when she, when like her eyes are blue and we see her vision, she has, I'm probably going to say the wrong thing, but basically in layman terms, she has the ability to see the electromagnetic spectrum.
Yeah.
So she can see all the electricity bouncing off the wires and everything, and she can actually absorb that and redistribute it.
Right.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
That's why, So that's why when Wanda throws her on the ground, she lands, she goes, and you see the blue stuff because she's absorbed some of the...
So she's Raiden.
Energy.
Yeah, kind of.
Raiden. Wouldn't that be sick though? Shoot fucking lightning everywhere?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
But she doesn't know that she's powered yet. She's kind of still figuring shit out. But she knows something's going on because her eyes are all fucked up. But
Isn't Doctor Doom like that though, with electricity?
no, Doctor Doom's got everything, bro.
got-
I've told you before,
so
Doctor Doom
so
went back to the
powerful.
beginning of time and literally lived from the beginning of time to the end to learn everything that he could about magic.
How good is that, man?
So he's like
That's
Dr.
a character,
he's like,
man.
he's like a master sorcerer, like Doctor Strange, and he has armor on the level of or more powerful than Iron Man's, and he's a super genius. Like, obviously Iron Man is a super genius, but Reed Richards is like the super genius of the Marvel, and he has a brain on the level of Reed Richards. He's like, he's crazy.
sick. Yeah.
He's the go-to. I was reading up about him because I went to...
I was remember the cartoons I used to watch and he was on it.
There's a mad one if you go on YouTube, just like Google like Doctor Doom in like Avengers cartoon or something. It's like they all jump up to attack him, like Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk. They all go to fight, and he just like flicks them all off, and then just like sort of like saunters over and just sits on his throne and looks at them on the ground, and he's like, "I don't want to fight you guys. Leave me alone."
Yeah. How good is that?
If they did that, if they brought Doctor Doom in as the main villain... The weird thing is that you can't even make him a full villain. He's kind of in a way neutral as well.
I think what they will do with Doctor Doom is that they'll bring him in this phase now that they have the rights, but he won't be a villain. He'll be the leader of Latveria, the little European country that he is the king of.
Yeah.
And he'll just be kind of in the background doing little bits and pieces, and then eventually when the time is right for him, he'll try and do some crazy shit like he did in the comics, like steal Odin's powers or something like that. So he's always doing shit like that.
Well, that's the thing I was thinking. He feels like he's such a big character, but he does feel like almost like, it's weird to say this, but like Loki, in the sense that if you threw him in the top dog, it feels weird. But if you put him down a little bit in the show, it might fit nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on with it. We got the workers scene with Vision and that, the one that you're not really into, and I get it as well. The workers, and then there's what else was there? There was like
they get
the
roadblocked
kids crossing the road.
But that was a bit of like,
that.
I know what you mean. It is like, I get in the grand spectrum of like unfolding the mystery. That is frustrating.
It is.
But I did like it in the sense that it was like, they're still committing to, they haven't
TV,
just thrown
the
away
sitcom.
the sitcom thing.
Yeah.
It's still playing a part in the plot unfolding.
Yeah.
And it actually felt very Truman Show to me more than anything. Like if you've seen the Truman Show, you know when he's trying to escape the boundaries, there's always some weird roadblock
Something
thing coming
happening.
in. I just thought that was a nice little nod. And then I did, even though it was frustrating, I have to say I did very much enjoy watching Paul Bettany get to flex his comedic muscles
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, he's so
in
good,
those
man.
sit-down
Good.
camera
Yeah.
things where he's just going like, when it cuts and he's just like, well, I had no idea what Wanda had been. I was like, this is so funny that I'm seeing Paul Bettany do this in costume. This is amazing.
He's great.
Yeah, because it feels like almost like it's not Vision, it's Paul Bettany behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Like he's sitting down on like the actor's chair and they're like interviewing him as an actor instead of...
Do you think they were influenced at all by... Do you remember before Thor Ragnarok came out and Taika Waititi and Chris Hemsworth just kind of had a real fuck around and they did those mockumentary style Thor things?
Yeah, similar.
I reckon maybe that's where they were like, man, this is actually pretty funny. Maybe we should try and do this.
Add it to it, yeah.
And that was the way they figured out how to do it properly. I don't know. It was... Because those were cool.
Good. Yeah.
They were probably following like the standard modern family formula.
Yeah.
But they were influenced with things like that.
But don't you think seeing a Marvel
for
character
sure,
do that,
yeah.
like, because that makes me laugh every time I watch it, man. When he's, when he's showing his bedroom, Hemsworth is actually so funny. He's like, oh, look at this meat; it's been aging for centuries. And then he like walks over. He's got all the drawings about the Infinity Stones, and he's like, doesn't like leaving his chair. And then he's like, and here's a drawing of little Mjolnir. Move this away. What's he holding? Me.
Those ads are really good, man.
Oh my lord!
I'd like to see. I wish
comedy.
Hemsworth was in WandaVision, just getting to be heaps funny.
Did you find
Influenced throughout the whole thing.
And you find it heaps weird how crap the other Thor movies are compared to like Ragnarok.
I don't think it's weird. I think
The second one definitely.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
think
massive change.
I just think that basically when they were obviously playing it very safe when they first started, I don't think anyone really knew what to do with the Thor character in terms of like making him fit, because he did work in the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
And I think it was Kevin Smith that inspired Hemsworth to make the change, wasn't it? Because he said he listened to a podcast or he heard an interview with Kevin Smith sort of going like, Hemsworth is good, man. Like Hemsworth needs to fucking turn around and say, hey, man, let me fucking... let me do my thing in these movies. Like I've got heaps to offer, and that's what that's when he was like, get Taika.
Yeah,
and that like
it needed comedy injection because it was it was.
So
mystic.
Hemsworth said get Taika.
Hemsworth wanted Taika.
Yeah. That's a
I'm
awesome
quite
movie.
certain he did, because he would have known him from like being a New Zealand director. And like Hemsworth is like, he loves shooting in Australia. He makes them come to Australia.
Oh,
to
did you
film.
hear
Like,
all the Marvel movies are now getting made here?
heaps of Hollywood is coming over
Here in
How
New
good is it?
Zealand.
Yeah,
Most of,
because
actually
they can't shoot in California.
a lot of
California's it's a mass exodus at the moment. Everyone's getting out of it.
Even a lot of people from California have moved to Texas.
Yeah,
Tons to Texas.
Heaps of tech companies have left.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of them are going to come over and shoot here, which is cool.
Yeah, even I saw Western Australia just got a $100 million injection for a new film studio.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so they're gonna get tons of shit.
Might finally be a chance to get into
in
the
there.
film industry.
Yeah, properly. Yeah, well, definitely there's going to be people coming. There's going to be Sydney, Gold Coast, and Perth are going to be just pumping.
Yeah,
I can see it already.
And aren't they shooting heaps? Isn't like they're all living in Byron Bay. There's
Gold Coast is huge for it.
a lot of TV productions happening in Byron Bay too. Yeah. So, yeah.
Definitely Gold Coast is probably our biggest at the moment.
Yeah. Oh,
for sure.
It's already got set up.
And it's because of that big fuck off pool tank.
Yeah.
Like,
But you know what's really interesting about it to me too is that that it's happening now.
yeah.
But back in, do you remember the Matrix filmed there?
was huge.
Because it was
Yeah. They had
easy
the
for them.
Biggest injection
And
here.
George Lucas shot all the prequels in
Here.
Fox Studios
Yeah.
in Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because he said, "Oh, it's easy, man. Like I get all the lots to myself." He's
That's
like, "It's
it.
not that much more expensive, and like it's just full access, everything I need."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they have.
Yeah.
I've worked at Fox.
Yeah.
And their backlots are beautiful.
Yeah. So,
The biggest. I've never seen such big warehouses in my life.
but isn't it interesting that no one really did that after him? And he said it was just like such easy to work, and it was really good for us because we got all exclusive interviews with actors over here because they're
Yeah.
all over here already.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
we had trickles. We had trickle type of things. You know, we had some of like the X-Men movies because of Hugh Jackman.
Ghost Rider was filmed in
Ghost
Melbourne.
Rider.
weirdly, in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I guess
nice.
the thing is Melbourne's underutilized for the city.
It's a nice
The
city.
city's
Man.
It's a nice
Yeah.
city, and because it's on the
Yeah.
grid system, you can get away with saying it's New York as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Just like on the basic level, that
Yeah.
it's the same sort of setup.
It's just it would be an intelligent location for anything like that,
Yeah.
for like a New York base. And it honestly, Australia's perfect for filming. Just with like weather, with location, the type of people that want to do the work. I've seen how
Mortal Kombat was
crew
filmed here
works.
too.
Yeah, in South Australia.
Yeah.
The crews work here like
Well, that Invisible Man
Crazy.
was shot in Gerringong.
Yeah, I've been to that house.
It's cool.
Yeah,
We drove past it yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
so.
Take-
I mean, I can't wait. If that's going to start happening,
Yeah,
all the better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
definitely. Thank you, COVID. No, that's a joke.
Blessing in disguise.
Kills millions of people.
That's a joke.
Thanks, guys. Wow.
Mark that.
Yeah,
down.
like that one. No COVID. Okay, all right. Finally, the last thing is the Agatha All Along song in the vein of a Munsters sing-along.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. And for a moment, for just a split 5 seconds, we get to see from like waist down what Agatha's real setup is with the dress and everything and the full look. So that was pretty cool to see as
It's
well.
like blue, purple, black boots or something.
Yeah. So it looked very, very witch. Just super like, we're getting hocus pocus.
Yeah.
Well, that was the other thing relating to Agatha, actually. Ralph, we still haven't seen Ralph. Is Ralph a reference to Mephisto?
Yeah.
Controlling
I
things?
heard about that. Yeah, yeah.
Someone said that is Ralph the cicada. I don't know how the fuck that works.
Because
but
cicada?
that's Mephisto, though.
Oh,
the
that's right.
cicada,
The thing, yeah.
because someone said maybe the cicada's that. I don't know.
I just think that
Her husband.
I think it might be a reference to.
What if it's the rabbit?
Or someone else said maybe the postman for some reason might be Ralph.
Oh, the guy, because he paused for a while.
He always sees shit happening.
Yeah.
Like unlike there's a lady at the lady trimming the garden all the time.
That's the Queen Bee lady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the guy that's the postman.
I just
And he's
thought-
always got shit.
I just
like
thought it-
so many packages.
I just thought it was definitively referenced again, Ralph, and
Yeah.
then we
At the
see
start,
her
yeah.
crazy witch stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it is.
yeah,
I yet again, everything that points to Mephisto just feels right at this point.
yeah.
Yeah. Where'd the kids go to? Disappeared.
Been locked up.
Going to siphon their powers to bring back Mephisto.
It's like, have you seen Warlock?
Yeah, it's a good
They-
movie.
It's when they melt down
Julian
the kids. or something.
Sands.
Yeah.
Good fucking movie.
Classic. 80s.
I mean, look, cheesy,
Yeah.
but worth
It's
a
weirdly, actually, the plot of WandaVision actually weirdly got a lot of few similarities to the end of the first X-Men movie, where they're using Rogue to like siphon her powers
Oh,
to
yeah.
turn everyone into mutants.
That's true.
I can't remember.
They create that bubble.
On the
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's been
What?
ages. Yeah.
That's such like a classic moment.
The only X-Men thing I can remember is when Wolverine was going up to, is it Rogue? She was going crazy and his skin was just getting ripped back.
No, that's Jean Grey.
Jean, yeah.
Grey.
That's the worst.
I thought
X-Men
that,
movie.
I
That's one
thought
of
that
the
was a
worst.
sick.
It's not great.
Yeah, I thought it was a sick scene though.
It's unfortunate. We had Juggernaut in that, and he was not good.
Juggernaut, bitch. He was good in Deadpool too, though.
Yeah.
Was it
No,
Vinny,
it's
was
like-
it Vinny Jones in both?
Nah.
That wasn't
Not
that
the second one.
seeing,
Not in Deadpool 2.
Okay.
But even just like having the cast they had in that first X movie, the acting chops. Like, I'm just remembering back to that
fucking
scene. You know, when
nuts.
like Rogue, that's such a silly thing that's happening.
Wasn't it Ellen Page? Was Ellen
She was
Page
in the
it?
third one.
The third one? Yeah, the third one as like the
Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but no, but I'm saying like in that one, you know, when it's like Rogue's in that device, and such a silly thing, like they're going to use her to turn everyone on the on Liberty
mutants.
Island into mutants, like all the senators and stuff.
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Am I going to die?" Because you've got Ian McKellen there, and he just the way he says, "Yes," is like, but it's not. It's like I can't do it. The way he does it is just. I was like, that gave so much gravitas to why comic book movies are still a big thing today, right? Like they took the cheese out of it, essentially. You know,
X-Men and Spider-Man were the ones that pushed the direction of something like Marvel being in existence now.
Oh, 100%.
Without those movies, we would not have Marvel at the moment. No fucking way. And even one that's underrated is Blade.
Yeah,
Blade
it was
pushed it as
sort
well.
of it was sort of the first one.
Yeah.
It was before. I think it came first, didn't it?
99?
Yeah, it was the first.
It would have been.
X-Men was 2000.
Yeah.
Spider-Man was 01, and then X-Men 2 was 02.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth.
I remember Blade. I remember being at the video store and picking it off the new releases front, and it was a straight to DVD. It wasn't a cinema run or nothing. Straight to DVD.
Well, Blade 2 was Del Toro, wasn't it? Yeah.
So it was so weird to think that something that was VOD was going to be that big and turn such a cycle.
Little steps, hey?
Wesley Snipes' last major movies.
And then what happened is Wesley Snipes became Blade, and that was the problem. He was saying to people, "Now call me Blade," and then that was it. Anyway.
I'm actually keen for this show to finish. I'm liking it, but I'm just sort of like,
I'm now convinced Falcon and the Winter Soldier you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Just 6 fucking episodes, you're gonna be like, I'm done.
No, I like all the shows. But I don't know. I just want the meat, man.
Yeah.
You're the same with Harry Potter too.
Yeah.
You just wanted it to be over so you could get your answers that you wanted.
Yeah, I think that's just how I am. If I'm weird or not, I don't care.
This is why something like John Wick's perfect for you.
Oh no, like
There's fucking zero.
Yeah, but see, I like slow burn movies. I love that. You know what I mean? I like to be taken away.
Action.
But this one here, I don't know. I've just got this overall TV vibe, which it is TV, but I don't know. I like it when Vision's on the screen. Wanda's good. They're all cool. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I just want to see it all come together, and because there's a lot of things happening. You reach the peak. Yeah.
Where you're like, I want to reach the top of the mountain now.
Yeah.
I've done.
And now I'm just like,
I think that these next 2 episodes are going to be pretty jam-packed full of stuff.
Like I don't. Will they continue the sitcom thing? I don't know. I don't think it needs it anymore.
I don't think it's done. I think it's done now.
Yeah.
If they maybe one more week, maybe like as in like they might have something, but I think it's done with the sitcom.
But
opened it.
Do we have the runtime on these last 2 episodes?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Well, so this one I heard was going to be an hour.
It's only 30.
So surely the next ones are going to be 40 to an hour.
There's no runtime yet. So I think they're just coming out with the runtimes as they come along. But it was originally rumored that the last 3 episodes were going to be an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
But obviously that.
But I mean, if you look at the structure of another Disney show like Mando, like it saved all its big punches the last couple episodes, didn't it? Really?
And they did it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
40.
Yeah, they did. But again, Mando to me, every episode was exactly the same. That's how I see it. They mission bang, which is fine. But I enjoyed Mando.
The first season, yeah.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed Mando more than this show.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, I like if they did a Guardians of the Galaxy TV show, I'll like that more than this because I like space and planets and stuff like that. It's cool.
Well, I think maybe Loki's going to be your jam.
Yeah, but isn't that set in New York or something?
No,
different multiverses.
Yeah, so that'd be sick. Yeah. I just like all that
jumping
stuff.
around in it.
He's jumping around to all these different planets anyway. Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, so,
but yeah, I don't know. I think overall, so far with WandaVision, like it's good, but I don't think it's my favorite.
Oh, but yeah.
Show. But there's still 2 more episodes to go. See what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think to me it started off really strong.
Yeah.
I like that whole 50s, 60s vibe. And then, the introduction of the colour and stuff. I reckon they should have just left it there, not progress. And then have two. Yeah, it'd be cool. I don't know, to me, it'd be more believable if it was just the 50s and then you got current. I think that's
It was that
a
jump between there and there.
Yeah, there's no need to progress the time. Didn't need it.
Yeah, I think it was a choice, and I think I don't know personally, I quite like.
Yeah,
the
I
choice.
disagree. I really like the progression. Yeah.
But I've liked it because it's weird. There's certain decades I enjoy more. So when we had the 70s decade, I don't even really like 70s stuff too much. Like I like certain things from the 70s. Horror movies from the 70s I think are really good.
Yeah.
But I didn't think I would enjoy it as much as I did. They went into the 70s things and I'm like, this is really fucking cool. And then, because it felt like there was like almost like that 70s show episode, kind of, because of how, production design was. And then jumping to each other one after that, I mean, 80s I loved, 90s was my years. And then 2000 is just like, I mean, I feel everyone kind of thought like the early 2000s were fucking banging. So, I mean, I've enjoyed the run of the decades, and I think they've given us information at a slow enough pace where it's not like I'm bored, but each week I feel like I'm keen for the next mystery.
Yeah.
It's like Cluedo. It's like the Cluedo of shows.
Yeah. It's I
Yeah.
don't know, I can see why people like won't watch this show as well.
Of course,
I
yeah.
think it's been very popular though. I think it's been doing very well.
It's increasing, but it's like heaps of my mates they won't watch it.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
But I can see that point. They just don't like that whole sitcom thing.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
I will say my favorite part. I'll tell you my thoughts. I really enjoyed this episode, but my favorite part of these shows so far is how very well they feel a part of the Marvel world.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So that's like, it's weird because you say that it feels like a TV show. I would almost say that nearly every one of the Marvel movies feel like really, really high quality TV shows.
Yeah, I would.
And-
To me, it doesn't feel like a TV show. To me, they've almost, and this is the first one, so I don't
Miniseries,
feel like
maybe?
they've fully done it yet. But I feel like they've found their own little thing, almost like.
Yeah, well, that's kind of it.
Yeah,
they're colourful, they're bright most of the time.
Well, they've almost recreated the way that comics work, right? Where you read to the end of an issue and you're like, "Fuck, got to get the next issue." Gotta get, like they're
and especially Marvel comics, like when you read a Marvel comic, it looks like and feels like a Marvel.
And I
comic.
mean, Marvel in compared to DC, where DC do a lot of one-off stories and things like that. Marvel don't really tend to do that. They tend to keep everything like in a broad sense, and they love to do these crossover series where you've got to be getting issues from all these different,
It's a marketing
books
thing.
and things like that. And that's really what that's what they're doing right now. Like, if you want to know what's going to happen in the next phase, you're going to have to get on Disney Plus. And I mean, that's going to frustrate some people. It's a business decision, and I would love a world where we have access to free content, but the reality is that this stuff doesn't come cheap for them to make.
Paid.
And it's a smart business decision for them because they have so much pull now. And I like, this show is strange. I admit it's probably not for everyone's taste, but I fucking love shows like this. Like, I'm a big Twin Peaks fan, and to me, like, I feel like Twin Peaks is a heavy influence on it. The idea of a small town where something's not right, there's supernatural things happening. You get your information fed slowly, and you're not only getting the supernatural thing, but you're learning things about all these little characters in the town and like all the little bit players, and you sort of, you become like a part of the town along with everyone, sort of thing. And then the underlying mystery is what keeps you coming back and keeps the plot moving forward week to week. But it's all the little things in between that you sort of have to be on board with appreciating them. Otherwise it's going to frustrate the hell out of you. But like, I am always on board with the little things in between.
The little things are the mystery.
Don't get me wrong, like I don't hate the show.
I don't think you do.
No, it's it's a good show. But you'd still need to watch it to see what's going to happen. And I think going forward, you're invested in all these characters, so it's going to help, in the long term. So,
and I can definitely see your side of things because I can see the padding. I can see the padding.
There is padding. That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
the Vision stuff this week was padding.
That's what I'm saying. But you have to just sort of be like, there's going to be padding. I'm on board with the padding. Kind of,
you know what I mean? Like, I know like you mentioned the other day, Game of Thrones, the padding in that. I'd rather watch an episode of that than this.
I think that the last seasons of weirdly, even though the last season of Game of Thrones was only 6 episodes, it just felt fucking padded to the shit. And still skipped over stuff somehow. It was crazy. It was a weird balance. I don't know
why you wouldn't add another 2 episodes and make sure you
that last season
all the
wasn't
shit
good.
needs to be said.
No, but obviously, like, as I have said on this podcast before, seasons 1 to 4 or even 5 possibly of Game of Thrones are like masterclass TV.
So good.
But
Absolute peak.
This is also another thing, though. It's funny because I wouldn't want to watch Game of Thrones over this. I would watch WandaVision over this. And the reason why, for me, is the shortness of the episode, the conciseness. Fucking 30 minutes. That's it. I don't like. Once we get into 45 to 50 to an hour, I'm like, I don't want to. Yeah. It starts feeling like I'm feeling it. I want to sit down, have a sandwich, and finish the episode.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. Marvel.
It's true. Yeah, I can just imagine you just like
lunch.
Mr. Bean gets his sandwich out.
I'll tell you what.
Just on a park bench watching WandaVision.
I'll tell you what Disney Plus have done. And if it's a Marvel / Star Wars thing, I don't know who's in charge of this, but it happened to me with Mandalorian. It's happened to me with this show now too, is they have created a world now where I'm back into a mind frame where I can't wait for Friday night because I know WandaVision and I knew that Mando was coming out. Yeah. I thought episodic storytelling was dead.
Done,
I thought it was dead.
Yeah. I thought Stranger Things killed it.
Yeah, because binge watching was such a thing, right?
Yeah.
So it's that. That's well done by them because I know that I'm not the only one that feels that way.
I'm enjoying this more.
But you know what's good about it is you can actually, like, especially if you've got a family, like we used to sit down and watch it.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Every week I watch it with my girlfriend.
Until Mando all came out and binged it, and maybe that's why you felt everything's just the same. He goes to the new planet. I think maybe if you had a spaced it out week to week, you may not have felt that way. You know what I mean?
I watched the week to week. 2.
Yeah.
But you were loving it when you're watching it. You've only turned around. You've only just recently.
Oh, yeah, no, I enjoy it.
Been more negative on it for that.
Yeah, I know. I'm being.
I'm thought over it.
I'm nitpicking.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing.
But when you were watching it, you were coming every week going, "Mando's the best Star Wars ever. Everything else is shit."
Yeah, I'm still by that. Yeah. But I'm keen again to watch when we do the Star Wars runs.
Yeah,
do them all in one hit. Yeah, see how it goes.
Yeah, well, I do think that something like the Mando, the reason why I think these things work well, the week to week thing. I don't know about you guys, but when you do like a full binge run, I feel so depleted after watching like a full season of something in like 4 days. I'm like, or 2 days or however long. And this just feels, you're right. It feels like you're sitting down with your family or someone. Like I'll wait. It comes out on Friday. I won't watch it on Friday. I'll
have to wait till Saturday.
Till they're free. Yeah.
Well, I'll wait until.
Yeah. I did Ozark season 2 in 2 days. I think. Fuck, that was good, man.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean.
It depletes you.
Yeah, you feel like,
what have I done?
Yeah.
You know, and each week I sit down with my girlfriend and we watch it, and the episode ends. She goes, "That's it.
Yeah.
Where's the next one?" You know. And it's nice. Each week it's something that is like, it's a fun thing to do.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if Netflix might do that, but I doubt it because they're pushing hard on their binging.
Binging is their thing.
Like, that's their whole
I think if they went away with it, they'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
They could do it probably. I don't know. Depends on how high quality it is. They could maybe get away with it with the second season of The Witcher or something like that. But it depends. I think it would need to be better than what the first season was for them to do that. Even though I really liked it, but I had my head around the way that the timeline worked, but I understood everyone's criticisms of that timeline. It was so confusing.
I found it hard to follow. Yeah,
it's exactly the same as in the book.
I found it hard.
I know that's the same as in the book.
Is exactly the same.
I know that, but they're going to have to readjust that because it's like you just.
Shit is everywhere.
The only reason I knew is because I knew the characters and I knew when they linked up at points and things like that.
The only reason I knew is because I just recently, before it, listened to the book.
Yeah, there you go.
I was looking at it and going, because I haven't read the book, I don't know the full story. I only played some of The Witcher 3, but I could see the grades were different. I'm going, this must be like a flashback or something.
Yeah. So
they're jumping backwards and forwards constantly.
Yeah, but I think they've announced.
Watching it.
They've announced.
Too confusing.
They've announced that they won't be doing that in the second season.
Okay.
It'll be a more rigid timeline. Yeah.
Well, they've pretty much told the story, everything got together anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, what's it called? Best character, that the girl in it. What's her name?
Siri or Yennefer?
Yennefer. What a fucking backstory. They did such a good job because
they did do her.
That's good.
That wasn't in the book. That backstory that I read.
That's been revealed. So that thing of her being a hunchback, I think, was revealed in other things where Geralt discovered her history and things like that, and he still loved her anyway and things like this.
Such a cool backstory.
Yeah. So even that had a real TV vibe for me.
Did it? Her backstory didn't feel that way to me.
Yeah, that was because
The things around it.
You got to
actually,
look
a lot
at
more
it.
of
It's
the witches stuff felt backstory.
Oh wow.
Oh my, Siri's on.
It does that all the time.
It does that to me too.
S-I-R-I.
Yeah, I just.
Chris, I said Siri, like the character.
Yeah.
Any phones going off? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
If you say "Hey Siri" now, if people that are watching this, they'll get it on their phone. Sorry, people.
guys.
Yeah.
We'll get that time code down.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah. So, did you do yours?
I've pretty much said mine across.
Yeah.
Like, I think we all just sort of said our thoughts in that big discussion.
I think all of us have genuinely liked the show, though.
Yeah.
Like, in all round retrospect, the show's been good fun so far.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we have a bit of a break. Next week we won't be here. The week after we'll have episodes 7 and 8, a finale for the show.
8, 9.
8 and 9, sorry.
Yeah.
So, fuck. It's been a weird week. 8 and 9. I get confused when we do it, skipping things.
Yeah.
8 and 9.
I get confused with your timeline. What are you talking about? Sorry.
Yeah.
Because
I say it.
I
Then
just
you
get
go, wait, hold on, that's not right.
Yeah. It's like, what?
So 8 and 9 next week. Not next week, week after. Fuck.
Yes. You all right there, man?
No. I think it's like March 7th or 8th. We'll be back. And we'll finish up this show. And then we'll be right into Quentin Tarantino. So that Friday, you'll also get Reservoir Dogs. As we jump into QT's world.
Stuck in the middle.
That's it. Okay, all right. We just reviewed WandaVision episode 7. You've been listening to Neon Radio Podcast. I'm Reece.
I'm Dan.
I've been Declan all along.
It's the second time you've used that. Okay, all right.
Yeah, but it didn't get
I know
kept
they
in
didn't
the
know it.
verse.
Yeah.
Multiverse.
Okay. Yeah. Have a good week. Respect.